everyone, how is everybody doing today? It's your boy FPL Josh, and we're just going to be doing a quick analysis and my current thoughts on how the week's currently going, and also we're going to look at my transfer thoughts for next week, how the team lines up. There is some transfers I am considering for next week. At the moment I'm holding to see if there's any injuries. I probably will roll, but that depends. Obviously there's options that I fancy for next week. In case it's a bit of a knee jerk, might be okay, but I want to assess him for another game at least. For Antonio, to bring him in for Antonio. Also, I like the look of Cunha for Antonio, and I wouldn't mind bringing in a punt on Hwang Chan, but that would only be a 1 week punt. So I'll probably lay off that. Yeah, Fabio, how you doing, pal? Yeah, I don't mind some Wolves punts for next week, as I was saying. But obviously the team looks solid for next week. This week's going fairly well, as planned. You right, Lewis? How you doing? Oh, sorry, Oliver. I always get you first. That's name and stuff. But yeah, the week's going fairly decent. I'm happy, to be honest. I've made time to get in on a stream for today, to be honest, before we have kickoffs. You brought in Jensen, so hopefully that works. I knew Udogie wasn't playing, Oliver. We had leaks that Udogie wasn't going to be in the team, and I'm one of those people who just likes to leave a player in and then have the players come off the bench. It's just satisfactory for me. So yeah, I already knew Udogie wasn't playing due to a leak, so don't worry about that one. If I had any hindrancy that Udogie wasn't going to start, Udogie wasn't going to start, then obviously Mbeumo would have been on. But I knew Udogie weren't going to be in the team via my leaks and information, so I wasn't worried about that one. I'm just hoping everything goes well. Preferably, if Salah can limit himself to 1 assist, then that'd be sound, and a Diaz goal. You're right, Jay, how you doing, pal? I was a bit disappointed with Trippier this week. Well, I say a bit, I was very disappointed. I didn't even get a point for him, which was just disgusting. Yeah, exactly. Generally this was something I did deliberately for once. Normally it's a cock up on my half and I get lucky, but ignore the rank at the moment. When Mbeumo comes on, I think I'm around the 480k mark currently when Mbeumo comes on. I'm a Man United fan. I'm not being biased. I'd be happy with a 1-1 draw. I've currently got the top one as usual, but I think it's going to probably lean to 2-1 City. Nah, Haaland's not going to hat-trick. I think it'll either be 1-1 or 2-1 to Man City or 2-1 to us. It'll be a 2-1 to either person, probably. I'd prefer 2-1 in our favour, but I think it'll be 2-1 City, if I'm being honest. And as for Luton and Villa, I think there's going to be 4 goals minimum for Villa in that game. I feel like it's going to be an absolute thrashing. I feel like Watkins is going to, as I said the other day, get 2 goals minimum, and he's going to get a 13 points minimum. And I think, for me, that's a solid return. Obviously, I don't have Salah, but Diaz has been getting great positions. He always does very well against Nottingham Forest. Very well. Always picks up a few assists and that. He hasn't scored, I don't think, against them yet, but he always picks up 2-3 assists a game of the high-scoring games they've had. So I feel like Diaz could do very well again. I mean, if he gets a goal and he just matches Salah, then I'm very happy with that. Yeah, Diaby's going to be great this week. Everyone's like, don't like Diaby, don't rate Diaby, but when you look at his positions last week, he was expected to get 0.89 assists in that game and 0.52 goals. And if Watkins actually didn't miss them 2 sitters that he had, and the one where it just went clear to the post, it would have been a Diaby assist. And for me, Villa should have had another penalty, and that was have been Diaby fouled in the box as well. So we got unlucky last week again because Watkins didn't take the penalty as well. There could have been so much more return to Watkins. There easily could have been a 15 pointer for Watkins, well 16 with his bonus for him. Because he easily could have had 2 goals and assist. Assuming he would to the penalty. I don't think he's not going to be taking penalties. Like this week, I feel like Watkins will be taking penalties. I think it's the same as Saka kind of thing. Saka sometimes gives some away and sometimes takes them, but he's the talisman for penalties. And I think that's still the same with Watkins. It'll be between him and Douglas Luiz. It's still a 50-50. Like, you'll get him on some penalties and Douglas Luiz on some as well. But I took a -4 to get Matoma in. Yeah, who did you take out on the -4 to get Matoma in? What makes me laugh as well this week is the dumbasses who've decided, who just generally point blank didn't listen to me when I mentioned it on the deadline, and have took Maddison out for Saka on a -4, and I think, why? And it's like Spurs assets next week for me against Chelsea. Spurs are going to win like 3-4-0. Son and Maddison are going to go off. Spurs always return better and play better against the bigger teams. They're at home. Chelsea was utter nutter shambles versus Brentford. They could not defend for the love of God. So how they're going to cope against the Spurs team who's got all the motivation in the world, top of the league. Most balanced team for me at the moment, and are in incredible form. I can't see it. Darwin out for Alvarez and Ward-Prowse for Matoma. Yeah, I don't think I would have took Darwin out. It's not worth the -4. Because Alvarez, for me, blanks today. And Darwin's going to get a goal or assist, so it's probably not statistically worth the -4. I think Darwin may be good enough to cope with Watkins. Yeah, Watkins is great. Like I say, Watkins is just phenomenal this week. I'm just waiting for Salah to blank and Watkins to get a hat-trick. That would just be the highlight of the year, man, if Salah blanks this week. Like, I don't care if Salah gets a 20-point game versus Luton next week, as long as he blanks this week. I really could not give two if he gets 20 points next week. That's the way I look at it. I can cope with Salah getting 10 points a week because Sonny's outscoring or matching him every week. Yeah. The thing for me is, like, I've got Mbumo coming on, and I've hold him, and he's got me 27 points in the last 2 games. Like, what has Salah got in the last game? He got 15. So Mbumo was 1 off, and then Salah would have to get 13 to match Mbumo this week. Like, Mbumo, statistically speaking, been a better pick than Salah. I apologise if you hear that Uva in the background. Someone's doing something outside, and another else, God knows what they're doing. But yeah, I think someone's cleaning the car. But yeah, I mean, what I statistically want now is 2 goals for Watkins, 26 points to put me up to 55. An assist off Diaby, a clean sheet for Cash and Simicast. A few saves for Areola, maybe a clean sheet. A Diaz return and a Haaland return, and I'd be looking at like 85 points, 88 points there. And for me, that would be a very, very solid week again. Very, very solid week. And I wouldn't even need a Haaland return, to be honest with you, this week. Preferably, I don't want a Haaland return, because one, I'm a Man United fan. But at the same time, it's like, if he picks up assist, it's not bad, considering the fact that Pratik's gone without Haaland. I think as long as Haaland either matches, Alvarez and Haaland are the same, or Haaland outscores him, that's fine. Obviously, if Haaland can do a blanker this week, that would be incredible, considering how many people's captained him. I do think Liverpool will keep a clean sheet, Jay. Forest aren't really good, to be honest with you. I've not bought Matoma in because I might eat my words today and they might go and win 4-0, and to be honest, I would not be shocked. But I just don't like Brighton at the moment, defensively, and attackively as well, they're not all that. And I don't personally think that Fulham is a walk in the park. I really don't. I think, based off what I'm thinking, it's probably going to be 2-0. You know, 2-0 Brighton, maybe 2-1. I don't think it's going to be a ridiculously thrashing game. Meanwhile, both Gusto and Udogie on 0 for me. Yeah, no, Tanuki, I saw it. And Kabore might not play. Yeah, I know, Kabore isn't playing. Kabore was a massive doubt for the game, so it's doubtful he'll even be in the squad, but we'll see. The fixtures are looking good right now, and he's looking dangerous against City. Yeah, I'm not saying he's not going to get a return this week, he probably will, but I just don't think he's insane. And I just don't think Brighton are going to do as well as people think they are. And they tend to be scoring late on, Brighton do as well. That's the issue as well. And I'm a bit iffy. Matoma's 90 minutes nailed, but would I be touching any other Brighton asset, a defender, a midfielder other than Matoma? No, I wouldn't. Because none of them are nailed other than Matoma, really. They're all rotation risks. Brighton can't keep a clean sheet. I don't back them to keep a clean sheet at all. You reckon I'll go for Udogie to Simicast? Wait and see, Tanuki. Because I think if Udogie was out this week, but I think if we get Newsy's fit, then I'd just keep Udogie, because I reckon Spurs are going to keep a clean sheet versus Chelsea. And if you bring Simicast in, yes, he's got Luton, but then Spurs have got like 3 to 4 tough fixtures. Not Spurs, sorry, Liverpool have got 3 to 4 tough fixtures to a degree. Like, I prefer Udogi's fixtures in the long run than I do Simicast's. Because Simicast has Luton, but then he's got Brentford and Man City. Liverpool ain't keeping a clean sheet. I don't fancy him to keep a clean sheet versus Fulham. Sheffield, okay. Crystal Palace, but then they've got Man United and Arsenal. But then you look at Udogi, he has attacking threat, and I actually prefer the fixtures for Tottenham and the top of the league. Because they've got Forest here, West Ham here, Wolves here, Villa here. I like them fixtures. Villa, probably not for a clean sheet, but I like the attacking return aspect. I think Spurs will probably beat Newcastle and keep a clean sheet. City again, maybe a 1-1 game, and they should be keeping a clean sheet versus Chelsea. And he's got slightly more attacking threat, and it might just be a case of just being a transfer that's not worth it because there probably is other fires to put out in your team. It's probably the way I'd look at that. I mean, if you had like 0 point something, like 0.2 in the bank, then you could probably do Gusto to Maguire. God, I'm losing my voice today. Yeah, I mean, I'm holding Diaby for now. As long as Diaby returns this week, he's staying. If he blanks again, then he's fricked off to a Wolves player or something because, yeah. And also Bumo, I'm keeping him. Especially not West Ham, nah. I will ride Wolves. I like two of my brothers are Wolves fans, and even they've said that Spurs game is going to be a pain in the ass. And I just don't think that that's going to be a game where Wolves are going to score. But I have that. Won't get Maguire though. I think Maguire's a good pick, to be honest. For us to do it. It's a shame you don't have enough to get Diego Dalot in, because Diego Dalot's looking pretty good right now. Yeah, I don't think I'd be bringing him some Simicast for Udogi. I like Dalot though. The only thing with Wolves is, right, Jay, and I'm going to say it, Neto's out. Neto's like one of their most attacking, creative players. He's the one always picking the assists and always making the chances up for Wolves. And I think without Neto in the team, that's a big blow. So I don't think I'm really interested. Apart from a 1 week punt for Sheffield. That's the only time I'd be interested. And maybe a Wolves attacker. It's for a 1 week punt. You know, maybe get Cunha in for a 1 week punt and hope he scores 2 goals versus Sheffield. That would probably be the only thing I'd be looking at. Obviously, Nketiah pulled a bit of a hat-trick, obviously, against Sheffield. But again, I'm not going to knee-jerk him in. I'm not going to do anything like that. I think I'll see how he plays against Newcastle first. Yeah. And if he plays okay, Neto is out. And if he plays okay, then I might bring him in for Antonio for Burnley as a bit of a punt. Yeah, the Hangi Chan goal was quite good, to be fair. Yeah, it was good. We've obviously got West Ham at 1. The only thing I'm praying for is I know in my head Bowen is going to get a goal and assist today. I'm telling you all now, Bowen is going to get a goal and assist. That's fine. I can tolerate that as long as he doesn't get more than one. Then I'll be fine with that. I'm just kind of hoping that everything just goes well. I think if I get 70-something points this week, I'll be happy, but I want it in for 80. Do you know what would be the most classy thing that could happen would be a Simicast assist and a Luis Diaz goal, but the chances of that happening is slim. But if it did, then I'd be looking pretty well. Because if Simicast kept a clean sheet as well, maybe some bonus, 12 points, and then maybe Diaz bonus for like a 12-point, 11-point Diaz game. You know, it would be pretty good. Yeah, I think if I get a Luis Diaz return, I'll be happy. I wouldn't be worried about Salah then. I wouldn't be hiding behind the sofa worrying that Salah's going to freaking ruin my week again. I did get a slight green arrow last week, but not by a lot. I just see it as people who've got, let's say, Salah and Gordon or Salah and Ward-Prowse or something like that, are not doing as well as people who've got Son and Maddison. That's just the way I look at it. Diaz got an assist last week, Jay. And this is the fixture he loves, and he's gonna get an assist or a goal minimum. Again, he's going to get assist or a goal minimum. I don't think Liverpool batter Forest, but I think it'll be 3-4-0. I don't think it's going to be a hammering though. We would have to see though, like I said. I don't know what I put my predictions down for West Ham today. I think, let me have a look. I think I might put West Ham 2-1. Maybe. Reloads. I've put West Ham to win 2-0. Man City to win 2-1. And I put down my prediction as Liverpool 2-0. I don't know why I did that actually, because it's going to be 3 or 4. I like to bring Wang in, but this week Newcastle wasn't the ideal fixture. Yeah, he's got Sheffield next week. But again, hello Slay, I didn't see you there. He's got Sheffield next week, which I love, but that's like a 1 week punt. That's the only problem with that. But if you're doing like a 1 week punt on Hwang Yi-chan next week, Tanuki, and then you just wildcard the week after and sort all your problems out, that'd probably be the best decision for you. How you doing, Slay? I'm just looking at my team this week, Slay, at the minute, just being very happy that top 500k until it goes all to crap. Goes out and scores, making Tripp limp off with 0 points. Trippier didn't limp off, did he? As far as I was aware, he didn't get subbed off, did he? I did watch the whole game as well, so. But yeah, Trippier got booked because he's a clown. I mean, Trippier didn't even get an assist, man. Because Wilson didn't put that chance away that Trippier put in. I mean, I was fuming with that Shah penalty that Shah managed to get the assist for, because that was absolute BS, that was. It was the most stupidest penalty call I've seen, I think, given this season. Because it was a joke. He barely even clipped his foot. Don't get me wrong, there was contact, but it was barely contact, and it wasn't enough for a penalty. Yeah, I was going to say. Yeah, it was never a penalty. You know, I think it was a bit of a joke that foul Hwang Yi-chan did on Shah was given as a penalty. Because outside the box, that would not have been given as a foul. Never in a million years. And the way the ref just goes up and gives it straight away and VAR don't overturn it, that just shows that VAR is a joke. The one thing they're there to do is overturn ridiculous calls like that. I mean, for me, everything was in Newcastle's favour like 60% of the time last night. It really was. The ref was being biased, if I'm being honest with you, and VAR and the refs do my freaking fruiting right now. Anyway, we've talked a lot about the team this week. I'm going to pull up the team for next week quickly. What the team's looking like. Bear in mind, there's going to be changes. I was considering selling Trippier, but I'm not going to because he's got Bournemouth the week after, so. If I do make a transfer, it might be Shah out to someone. But I don't really mind playing Trippier versus Arsenal and just save the transfer, as everyone's going to be playing Trippier anyway, most people, so it's not a big deal. I mean, if I find out Udogi's fit, then I'll play Udogi over Trippier, because I fancy Udogi clean sheet, if I'm being honest. I was considering a goalkeeper transfer, but I've already made one this season. What would I even well gone into too? Because I know there would be not much changes then. Oh yeah, you could make a lot of changes in your team, especially with your bench, your team, you know, stuff like that. You swap your keepers, you swap your bench, and I'll be honest with you, Tanoki, I would probably be selling Salah after Luton, because Son and Maddison have got way better fixtures and it's just more money in the bank. I do think Luis Diaz is going to come good this week. I really do. And next week. I mean, the week I bought him and he got returned, to be fair. But I think as long as he does his stuff, then we'll be alright. I am above Slay and I am above Fabio in the league because my 13 points has not been added on yet. Not far off you, Jace, but you have got, barring Kufa, Lamptey and 3, you've got 3, 6, 7, 8 left. I've got 7 left, I believe. Yeah, I got 7 left. Nothing bad though. What are you doing next week, Slay? You got any decent transfers planned? I'm probably going to be boring and roll it. At the minute. Was tempted by a Liverpool player, but I don't think there's anyone to want to bring in, and maybe for a week. So it's not something I'm really considering. Unless I bought Van Dijk in for Trippier, but Liverpool's fixtures wise, I don't mind Fulham, Sheffield and Crystal, they're good. Obviously Man City and Brentford, I'd need to bench both of the Liverpool defenders for that week, which means I'd have to essentially play Udogie and Shaw. VVD could be a good punt though. Could be a good punt for a week versus Luton. Because if he scored or did like an assist or something, that would be pretty good. And Van Dijk's capable of doing that. I've had some weeks to be fair, I've had Van Dijk in. I haven't had him for ages, but when I have had him in, he's scored header goals and stuff like that. How long we got till the game? We got 56 minutes. This was hilarious. Oh yeah, Gabriel bench was an absolute freaking funny show. I mean, if I go in my family league now, and I just show you, ignore this. I'm on the same points, just I haven't had my own B mode. But this is funny. This is just straight up comedian funny. A Stupidan's not playing. Full stop. A Stupidan will not be playing. So Murphy's not coming on for anyone. Gusto's coming off for Kabul, he might not be playing, and Morris is coming off for one. So the hilarious thing is, Murphy's going to come off for Morris, he's not going to come off for anyone, and he's probably not going to come on anything good because Kabul won't play. So I'm looking at it thinking, damn, you've been cocked about 3 players there, and he's already used his wild card. So I find it quite funny. And then my other brother's done well. He doesn't even freaking touch the game. This is the hilarious thing. He doesn't even touch the game, and he's got 39 points for 5 players. That's the best of it. Burn start. Yeah, I left my ass until Burn started. Yep, I left my ass off as well because my other brother's got Gabriel on his wild card, and I was like, yep, up yours, mate. Because he took the pee out of me when I like couldn't have Gabriel playing for like 4 weeks start of the season. I don't think I've touched an Arsenal defender really since, apart from having Ben White for a little spell, and that was probably about it. I might have had Zinchenko maybe 1 game start of the season, but that was like pretty much done. That was it. Or was that last season I had Zinchenko start of the season? No, it was last season, not this season. Either way, I haven't really touched an Arsenal defender this year, and I don't plan on touching Arsenal defenders. I don't really plan on touching Arsenal defenders at the players at the minute. Sorry, I know everyone's going on Saka, but Maddison's literally doing just as well as Saka is. Chelsea's an easier fixture than Newcastle, and Saka's more expensive. And Spurs are top of the league. I don't see why I'd go Saka. I don't see why people are even trying to make an argument saying Saka's better than Maddison, because he's not. Maddison's got man of the match like the last 3 weeks in a row. He's been the most creative player for Spurs. He's been making through balls that have been insane. He should have had 2 assists last game. Most rather popular World Cup week was PGFBL. But yep, it was. It was. I'm sure Arteta plans it, you know. He goes, oh yeah, I'm just going to put Tomiyasu in my fantasy team and I'm going to bench Gabriel. And then Tomiyasu's going to go and score. Watch Chelsea game at the pub and was fuming. I never watched the Chelsea game. Did I? Or did I? Did I watch the Chelsea game? I can't remember. Did I watch the Chelsea game? No, I did watch the Chelsea game, I think. No, I didn't. No, I didn't. No, I didn't, because it was on TNT Sports. It wasn't on Sky. I don't think so. I don't think I did watch Chelsea game. I think I had it on my phone listening with the headphones, and I might have watched clips on it on my dodgy app. That was about it. I mean, that Tyson Fury fight last night was freaking hilarious. That was just hilarious. Straight up. Funny. Everyone's saying he got robbed. He won. He won fair and square on points. Like, he outboxed him, which is, yeah, he's the best boxer in the world. He should be outboxing a freaking nobody. He was a UFC fighter, but Jesus. The fact he didn't knock him out was a bit of a joke. suppose it's like 7 o'clock for you, isn't it, Toki? But yeah. Anyway, lads, just a quick stream as planned. I'm gonna go off the stream, but if you fancy going on the phone call to Nokia, any of you on Discord, and we'll have a chat on Discord now. I'll get my headphones on, but I'm just gonna sit and set the game and everything up ready now. So I'll see you boys probably Friday, assuming I'm not working. If not, probably Thursday. So yeah, lads, have a good one, and I'll